It's 3 a.m. You're wide awake. Your mind is racing, and you assume something is wrong with you. But the real answer is far stranger. For most of human history, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a disorder. It was the plan. Historian Roger Ekirch spent years digging through diaries, court records, and medical texts from before the industrial age. What he found rewrote what we thought we knew about sleep. Before artificial light existed, people didn't sleep in one long block. They slept in two. The first sleep began shortly after dusk. It lasted 3 or 4 hours. Then, somewhere around midnight, the body simply woke up. Not from a nightmare, not from stress. It just happened, on schedule, night after night. This waking period had a name. People called it the watch, and it wasn't wasted time. Think about that for a second. An entire block of the night, set aside for something. During the watch, people prayed. They talked with a spouse in the dark. They visited neighbors. Others simply lay still, letting their thoughts drift, in a state researchers now compare to light meditation. Then, after an hour or two, a second sleep would follow, carrying them until sunrise. This wasn't a quirk of one culture. Ekirch found references to first and second sleep across Europe, from ancient texts to Victorian-era letters. It was ordinary. It was expected. Nobody thought to write, "I couldn't sleep last night," because 2 sleeps, with a gap between them, was simply what a night looked like. Then something changed. Cheap artificial light spread through cities in the 1800s. Street lamps, gas lighting, eventually the electric bulb. Suddenly, evenings stretched later. Bedtimes crept back. The window for 2 separate sleeps quietly disappeared, squeezed into a single unbroken shift. Psychiatrist Thomas Wehr tested what would happen if you removed that light. In a famous experiment, he had participants live for weeks with no artificial light after dusk, mimicking a pre-industrial night. Within about a month, their sleep split in 2, almost exactly the pattern Ekirch had found in old diaries. Given the darkness their ancestors had, their bodies remembered a pattern their minds never learned. So what does that mean for you, tonight, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m.? Sleep researcher Jerome Siegel studied modern hunter-gatherer groups, the Hadza in Tanzania and the San in Namibia, communities living without electricity. He expected to find 2-phase sleep. He didn't. Their sleep looked mostly continuous, too, which suggests something more complicated. The 2-sleep pattern may not be a universal human default. It may be one option among several, waiting in the body, activated by long, dark, unlit nights. Either way, one thing lines up. Your body was never designed for the modern night. Not really. 14-hour stretches of darkness, once normal in winter, have been replaced by short, artificially lit evenings that end abruptly with a screen switching off. That 3 a.m. waking, the one that feels like failure, might just be an old rhythm, resurfacing without an outlet. Your ancestors had a name for it, and a use for it. You just have a phone, and a habit of scrolling until your eyes hurt. Maybe the goal was never 8 unbroken hours. Maybe it was permission. Permission to lie awake for a while, unhurried, in the dark, without reaching for a light to make the moment disappear. It's 3 a.m. You're wide awake. And maybe, for the first time, that isn't something wrong with you at all.